I'm going to be honest, I didn't really have a ton of hope going into this game. What with the injuries that the Caps have been dealing with, the fact that the Colorado Avalanche are by far the best team in the National Hockey League this season, and combine that with the fact that this was a matinee game, which the Caps are historically awful in. And yeah, you could see why the rational part of me would not have much hope. But ever the optimist, as the game actually started, as the puck actually dropped and the game actually got underway, I caught myself thinking, what if? First period, the Avs score first, Parker Kelly, but like a minute and a half later, Jakob Chychrun ties it up. What if? Then, second period, the Avs score a couple of goals to go up 3-1, but just 17 seconds after the Avs get their third goal to make it 3-1, Ethen Frank, fed in the slot by Alex Ovechkin, Frank puts it past the goaltender to cut the lead back to 3-2. Like I said, just 17 seconds after the Avs take the 2-goal lead, the Caps cut it back to a 1-goal lead. Again, what if? And then in the third period is where the fantasy falls apart as the Colorado Avalanche blow it open with a couple more goals. Caps lose 5-2 to the Avalanche in Colorado. And yeah, let's just quickly go a little bit more in depth with the scoring here. So first period, Parker Kelly, like I said, is on the board first. He puts the Avalanche up 1-0, 5 minutes and 54 seconds into this game. But then about a minute and a half later, like I said, the Caps on a power play, and it is Jakob Chychrun, he who is tied for the NHL lead in goals scored amongst defensemen this season with, of course, Zach Werenski of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Jakob Chychrun, this is his 18th goal of the season already. It is an absolute rocket of a wrist shot from the point, and he sifts it through everybody there. I shouldn't even say sifts because it really was a rocket. He rockets this thing through everybody there in front of the net. He finds the hole. He beats the goaltender, all tied up 1-1. And it was Dylan Strome with the primary assist and Ethen Frank with the secondary assist on Jakob Chychrun's 18th goal of the season. Like I said, ties it up 1-1 for the Caps, and that is how the first period would end. Second period, Avalanche on a power play now, and it is Nathan MacKinnon doing Nathan MacKinnon things, 2-1 Avs. Then just over 4 minutes remaining in the second period, it is Victor Olofsson this time, 3-1 Avalanche. And so that one felt really bad, obviously, for a second there with the Avalanche taking the 2-goal lead. But then, like I said, 17 seconds later, it is the Caps in on the forecheck here, and Alex Ovechkin, like I said, great forecheck, and then Ovi gets the puck behind the Avalanche net. He feeds it out front to Ethen Frank. Not a single soul on the Colorado Avalanche is paying attention to Ethen Frank on this play. They leave him all alone because they are all so hyper-focused, right, on the great eight, Alex Ovechkin behind the net. Every Avalanche defender goes to Alex Ovechkin, and as a result, Ethen Frank left all alone out in front. Ovi finds him, and yeah, Ethen Frank beats the netminder clean with the shot, and that cuts the Avalanche lead back from 3-1 to 3-2. Like I said, just 17 seconds after the Avs had just made it 3-1. So, hope, right? It's a dangerous thing. So, Alex Ovechkin on the primary assist, obviously, and then Nick Dowd as well on the secondary assist on Ethen Frank's 11th goal of the season already. More great stuff from Ethen Frank. So yeah, it's 3-2, and that is how the second period would end. And then third period, after hanging in there pretty well through the first 40 minutes of this game, the Washington Capitals, they come out in the Mile High City for the final 20 minutes of this game here, and they play, of course, their absolute worst period by far of the game here. They get outshot 17-3 in the third period. They were just not there at all. Fatigue maybe a bit of a factor, you know, with the travel and whatnot, tough schedule, on the road in a tough building that's very tough to play in. Like I said, Mile High City, you're kind of gasping for air the entire time as the road team in that building. So all of that, a factor for sure. They appeared to run out of gas here, that is for sure. They could not get it together for this third period. Like I said, they get outshot 17-3. They actually get a massive break for once with a coach's challenge that actually goes their way for once. I believe that is the first coach's challenge that has gone their way this season. We are in game number 50. So yeah, it is finally a break here for the Washington Capitals as a goal that appears to put the Avalanche up 4-2 here in the third period. It gets called back after a coach's challenge by Spencer Carberry and staff. They had issued the coach's challenge believing that Charlie Lindgren, who was playing in this game for the Caps, he got the start today here in Colorado. So yeah, the Caps coaching staff, they felt that Charlie Lindgren was interfered with on this play. They turned out to be right, as upon replay, you couldn't really see it on the first replay there. I know a lot of people were questioning this challenge, myself included, when it first came down, because upon that first replay there, you really couldn't see very much at all. But when they did show the back angle, you could see that the Avalanche player there, I believe it was Marty Necas, can't quite remember now. I believe it was Necas, had, knocked Charlie Lindgren, knocked his stick, knocked his blocker, and that is goaltender interference, right? So this goal, it was a great challenge after all by the Washington Capitals coaching staff upon review there. And yeah, they do get this one right, and the goal comes off of the board, and so it remains 3-2. So huge break there for the Washington Capitals. And what might they do with that huge break, you might ask? Well, absolutely nothing, as they immediately give up another goal, this time to Arturi Lehkonen, and this one counts. And so it is indeed, after all that, it is indeed 4-2 for the Avalanche anyway. And then just for good measure, they give up another goal to Nathan MacKinnon, his 38th of the season this time, and that makes it 5-2 for the Avalanche. And that would be, babes, very unfortunately here, that would be 5-2 your final score. So not great, right? The only positive that you could maybe really take from this game was, they won the special teams battle for once against a very high-powered, high-octane Colorado Avalanche team. The Caps, they scored on 1 of 4 power play opportunities, and the Avalanche, they only scored on 1 out of their 6 power play opportunities. So the Caps penalty kill for sure did a pretty good job, killing off 5 of 6, right? Like I said, against a high-powered, high-flying Colorado Avalanche team in their building. So that's good. Charlie Lindgren, he hung in there pretty well. Pretty good game by him. The Caps at the end there, hanging him out to dry a little bit after he kept them in the game earlier. So you don't love to see that. But like I said, it did look like everybody just got a little bit fatigued there at the end. The atmosphere, the mile high, thin air, right? If you have ever, tried playing sports in a city like that has the elevation that Denver does, it always does affect you. So I think that's what we saw play out in the third period. But at the same time, the Caps don't have any mulligans left here, right? They can't really afford at this point to just say, just a bad third period there against the NHL's best team in the Mile High City. They don't really have that luxury right now. They are in not a great position in the standings right now. There are teams in front of them trying to get back into playoff position here. They don't really have that luxury right now of just kind of writing this one off. 3 straight losses, right? Tom Wilson is lost in the Bermuda Triangle or something. I don't know. They keep saying that he's probably going to play tonight, and then he is not able to go. So they need to pull out of this here sooner rather than later. And I would prefer if they pull out of it in their very next game, as that game coming up is in Vancouver, where I am, and they will be playing against the Vancouver Canucks, who at this point have lost 11 straight games, okay? So the Canucks looking to lose their 12th straight game, and the Caps come into town when they're in that type of a slump. This is a game that it cannot be overstated. The Washington Capitals need this game. They need to find a way to win this game. It does not matter who is or is not in the lineup. They have to find a way to get 2 points out of this game against the coldest team, literally, in the National Hockey League right now in the Vancouver Canucks. And I will be at the game, in case you were wondering. So for those who know me and know my story, the Washington Capitals record in games that I attend in person is absolutely ridiculous. I would have to go back and actually add it up to be certain, but I believe it's something like 15-1 or 16-1, 17-1, something like that. So we will hope for that trend to continue, certainly, when the Caps come to town on Wednesday. So big game, babes. And yeah, I will be doing my best from inside the building to get us the win in that one. Your post-game reaction video might be a little bit delayed after that one, as I will be, making my way home from the game after that one. Vancouver traffic, even at that time of night, when there is a Canucks game happening, it can be pretty brutal. So yeah, might be a little bit delayed on the post-game reaction video, but I'm thinking possibly of maybe taking some footage from inside the arena as well. We'll see. We'll see what type of footage I'm able to get. We'll see if my phone battery lasts long enough to get any footage. My new iPhone is on its way right now, so we'll see how much footage I'm actually able to get. But yeah, thinking about grabbing some footage for you guys from inside of the rink there as well. See what we'll do with that and what we'll do with the post-game video for that one. But yeah, babes, we need this win, so let's focus all of our energy on this. Positive vibes, right? Maybe Tom Wilson will be back finally. I hope so. God, I hope so. I'm wearing his jersey right now to try and summon him from the dead for this game. So yeah, I really hope that he is playing with me in attendance. He is obviously one of my favorite Washington Capitals players. So that would be great for me. But yeah, babes, wish me luck. And from me to all of you, thank you all so much for watching. As always, really, really appreciate it. You guys leave me your comments down below. What did you think of this one? Did you have any hope before the game, coming into this one in Colorado? Or were you kind of like me and it was kind of like whatever happens kind of happens and we just hope for the best? How did you feel, going into that third period down only by a goal versus how it ended up? Just leave me your comments, your thoughts, whatever you felt about this game. And yeah, until next time, babes. And as always, I will be coming at you live, like I said, from the Caps game in Vancouver on Wednesday night. We'll have all your post-game reaction after that one, so be sure to tune in. Until next time, babes. And as always, let's go, Caps.